Hello and welcome to my video lecture on updating data using PHP update forms or a form to do the updating for you. So up until now we've done the inserting, we've done deleting, we've done the selecting, and now it's time we learn how to do an update. So what I've done is I've gone into the list display and I've done a little changing. One, I threw a style element in here to make the body 1,000 pixels wide because we have a couple of extra buttons that we're going to display. Um, so here, if I click on list users, see how wide this got when I left the buttons. So I said, all right, I'll just make it wider. Okay, so it's wider. Um, and what I did was I added a column and called it update. And then what I did was I basically copied this, which was the delete button, and I added in another column with a bunch of hidden inputs. So each of these is its own little form. So each little column has its own little form in it. Um, in this case, the only thing visible are the inputs, right? So one says delete, one says update. But what I've also done is I've put in the inputs to hold all of the data elements that I'm going to need, and I've populated them from the post array, from the array that got created, not the post array, the array that got created from executing the select statement and pulling all of the data out of the user info table. So then I go to that array, and as I loop through, I populate each of these. So that'll happen in the for each. So as the for each loops through, it'll populate all of these hidden inputs so that if I click on the update button, I will send that particular set of data using the post array to the update form PHP. So I've got an update form PHP, which is essentially the data entry page. Now the data entry page, I took all the PHP out of this because really all this is a display page with blank data entry inputs. And then on the submit of that, we insert the data. In this case, with the update, what I'm doing is I'm starting out with PHP, and that's why this has to be a PHP form, and I'm grabbing all of the data elements out of the post array from the list display. So when you click this button, I pass all of these values using the post array and these input element names. So these all get brought here. I populate my local variables. I start off my HTML, and now instead of being a first data entry, it's a first data update page. So I just made some changes there. And then what I'm doing here is I'm echoing in the values from my local variables from the post array. So as I get the values from the post array, I'm putting them in to the data entry inputs, just the way they were on the data entry form. Only here I'm putting values in there because these are the values that came from the list that I want the user to update. So I do that. I have my PHP echo statements. Here I'm using the same name, data entry, just in case I'm using that in my cascading style sheet. The method is going to be post, and now I'm going to send this information to the update PHP on the submit, and now my submit has an update. So then all I have to do is create my update PHP file. Here's my update PHP file. I'm going to require once the database PHP file to set up my pipe back to the database. Once again, I'm taking all my values out of my post array, populating them into local variables, and then here is my query string that I'm creating. So here's update user info, it's the name of the table, and then I'm setting fname equal to whatever was sent from the post array, and then my lname, my email, my zip, my phone, and then I'm updating where the user info is. Info ID is the user info ID that I got from the post array, and I'm executing that. I'm putting however many rows were affected, which should only be one, into update count. And then I'm simply including the list display PHP file again so I can display my updated data. So if I go and I look at my form, so here's my form, and now I want to click, say, my Devlin's record, I click update. Notice now it's essentially the same as the data entry page, only now it's pre-populated with data. And now I can go in here and I can change that to, say, devlin.com. I can change any other data elements I want, dash 0000, and I click update. And now when I come back, I can see that this is devlin.com, and I added my 4 digits to my zip code. So without too much effort, that is the creation of the update functionality, so that now you can insert data, you can delete data, you can select your data and display it here, and now you have an update button to update your data. So at this point, you have all the skills and all the SQL skills necessary to list, update, delete, and insert records into your MySQL database. So now I want to see all of that functionality in your databases, your websites.